So we can use this particular data to calculate the elasticity, and then we can discuss how more concepts can be ingrained in this particular case study. So looking at the graph, we know that at 12,000 rupees, we are able to, the demand is like of 540. At If we increase that to 13.5, the demand decreases to 420, and then we further increase to 15K, the demand reduces to 300. So it went clear with this particular graph, this particular figures. Okay. So what I'm basically doing, I'm taking these 2 points and trying to find the price elasticity in this. Okay. So how to calculate the price elasticity? We have to first calculate the change in quantity. So the quantity has changed from 420 to 540. So change is 120, right? However, the price has changed from 13,500 to 12,000. That is 1,500, right? So what is the percentage change in quantity over the percentage change in price? So change in quantity is 120, and the first quantity, let's take the base quantity as 12K, because they are increasing the sorry, let's take the base quantity as 13.5K, they are decreasing the price. So the base is 13,500 multiplied by what was the change in price, the change, sorry, okay, I'm so sorry, this is okay. Yeah. So what was the change in quantity? This is 120. And what was the initial quantity? Let's take the initial quantity to be 420 multiplied by what was the initial price? What was the initial price? Initial
The quantity would be 540, right?
Exactly. So we can take that either 420 or 540. I'm assuming that we are already at 420 and 13.5K, and we are reducing the price.
Or we are reducing the price to 12,000.
Correct. Because that's what this is saying, that let's try to reduce the price.
Yeah. Sorry.
Correct. So multiplied by price. So the change in price is 1,500, and the initial price is 13,500. So if we calculate this, it is 2.57. So everyone tell me, 2.57, is that an elastic demand or an inelastic demand?
Elastic.
Elastic.
Elastic demand. So, okay. So when there's an elastic demand, should we be going ahead with decreasing the price?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we'll end up having more total revenue. Correct. Because the change in, if you decrease the price by 1%, the quantity, if you decrease the price by 1%, the quantity demanded will increase by 2.57%. So in an elastic demand, it's better to reduce the price. Okay. After that, uh, shall I explain the formula of elasticity using the slope also? I can explain that if.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. So, considering that this is the slope is nothing but change in price by change in quantity. Any doubt in this? Because P is the x-axis, the slope will always be change in y by change in x. Q is the y-axis, so it will always be change in p by delta p by delta q,
Okay.
right? And we know the formula here is delta q by q multiplied by delta p by p. If I keep it delta q by delta p multiplied by p by q, right? So let's take the let's say that this is m. So we denotate the slope by m. So this is nothing but the inverse of slope, 1 by m multiplied by p by q. So the slope function of elasticity is in 1 by m. M is the slope multiplied by p by q. Clear?
Got it.
Okay. Okay. Now I'll explain the elasticity at these points.
Rahul, I just have one doubt.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
I'm not able to hear you.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now.
In the example, which all points did we take elasticity for? All the 3 points?
No, I just took the first 2 points. You can also look at the other 2 points and find out, right?
So the elasticity will be same across all the points, or will it vary?
It will be slightly different, but the number of points that we get in the examination, let's use that points and find out if it's more than one. If it's more than one, then it is an elastic demand. Then it is wise to actually reduce the price. If it's less than one, it's an inelastic demand. So you should not go with decreasing the price. Rather, you should increase the price.
Will there be a case where there are 3 points given and elasticity is more than one in 2 points and less than one in the other 2 points?
If that is given, then it would be mentioned at what point we are right now in.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Here I have assumed that we are at this point, right? If there are multiple points given, data points given, then it would only be logical if they mention that, if they specify what point we are right now at, right? Then we can understand at what part of the demand curve we are in.
Okay. So you just right now you just took elasticity of the 2 points and you did not consider
Yeah.
the third point, right? Okay.
I didn't consider that. I can still consider that because I think even if I consider the elasticity is more than one,
Got
right? I'm just trying to explain how to go about the caselets, right?
Got it.
And trying to probably touch base with the economic concepts through that. Correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's get to how because the thing is that elasticity changes across the demand curve, right? So we know that elasticity is 1 year, and here uh, less than one, and here it's more than one. Yeah. Okay. So we'll calculate this, and here it's zero, here it's infinity. We'll calculate this through the this particular formula, 1 by m multiplied by p by q. So 1 by m, that is fixed, right? Because m is the same across the slope. Again, we have assumed that it's a straight line. If it's a hyperbola, if it's a graph like this, the slope would be different at different points. But here, for simplicity's sake, we assume that it's a straight line, and 1 by m is constant, right? So at this particular point, p is 0, right? So sorry, at this particular point, q is 0, and p, there's a value. So 0 divided by, if we try to multiply 0 with anything, that would be an infinite figure, right? And at this particular point, if you use the same formula, is p 0 or is q 0?
Rahul, one more thing. इस केस का जो assignment थी, could you also एक बारी share that? कि what all answers that you calculated on that assignment? क्योंकि I'm expecting कि उसी तरह से questions she'll ask in the exam.
I can share you the assignment. Assignment in the sense the case study, right?
Yeah, the case study itself, because ma'am put up a lot of questions there that we had to give. No, I wanted to see कि वो किस तरह से निकाले गए answers, because I believe that is the type of question she's going to ask on the case.
Right. Yeah. So basically, my point is that I'm just using the case. I'm just taking one example of the case, but I'm trying to integrate all the, similar concepts in that particular case. Right. If you want to know how that case is particularly solved, I can share you that also. Right. It's the same thing. It's the same thing how I solved, but there are more inferential questions to it, which are mostly logical. Right. Yes, Desha.
Will M be given to us? Or do we have to
M.
find that out by using the slope of a line formula?
I'm not sure if M will be given or not. But then, if M is given, then yeah, it would be better. If M is not given, then probably we have to find that out.
So
But
it's
that is
y equals mx plus c is the only formula I know.
that's a demand function formula. Y is equal to mx plus c. But in this particular form, in this particular equation also, we need to find M. So how we find M? M is basically Q1 minus Q divided by P1 minus P. Take one point here, take another point here, and see the difference in the P and in the Q. And plot these here, and you'll easily be able to find them. But I don't think the questions will be that complicated, right? And in that case, I think if a question comes like this, then slope will be given.
Rahul, is M not P1 minus P0 upon Q1 minus Q?
Yeah, right. Right. Correct. M is y, so it will be yeah P1 minus P0 by Q1 minus Q0, right? Okay. So at this particular point, okay, coming back to the topic, at this particular point, it will be one. So the price elasticity is constant at one here, and if you go above it, it would be more than one, and it would if you go below it, it would be less than one till it reaches zero. It would be more than one till it reaches infinity. You guys have any doubt in this particular graph? Any doubt why it is more than one or why it is less than one?
Will we be asked to
Hmm.
derive the one?
I don't think so. No. I don't think. And if it's caseled, I don't think we'll be asked to derive the one. But then we should make sure. For example, if a case comes and you found that the data points are here. So this is a what to say? This is an elastic region. In that case, you should be careful with reducing with increasing the price, right? You would end up losing more customers there.
So price can be increased only in an elastic region, and price can be decreased only in an elastic region,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And can you once do the bell-shaped curve which she
Right.
made?
I'm doing that. Correct. This particular one, right?
Yeah.
राहुल वन मोर थिंग अगर हमारा प्राइस पॉइंट यूनिटरी इलास्टिक पॉइंट पे आता है तो देन हाउ डू वी टेक द प्राइस डू वी इंक्रीज इट डिक्रीज इट और डू वी जस्ट स्टे देयर
नहीं वहां पे रखना है because at this point the total revenue is maximum,
गॉट इट
right? But it can happen that in practical scenarios also this might not work because demand is not the only thing which determines the price. There is another thing. What is that? Supply. सोचो कि अगर supply यहाँ पे है तो we have no other choice but to play within the what say inelastic region. अगर supply curve यहाँ पे है, so we will be in an elastic region, right? We are just assuming that we have the freedom to price anywhere here, and we know that we will price here so that the total revenue would be maximum. Clear?
Yes.
Got it, sir.
I think we should take some space. Like,
Okay, sure. Okay, so after now I'll be going forward with probably yes. Okay, now I'll be going forward with the cost curves. So do you guys have any doubt in that, or should I explain anything more to it, or is it fine?
Rahul, along with elasticity, we've covered revenue maximization here. एक बार profit maximization भी cover कर लें.
Profit maximization, it's better that I'll cover that along with the cost curves.
So
Profit maximization कुछ नहीं होता when the MR is equal to MC. Once we'll be doing the cost curves, it's better that we cover it during there.
got it, sir.
Rahul,
Mhm.
in a case like this, if something like this comes, and don't you think she would ask like till what price point one should decrease the prices for the revenue maximization, as in like
Yeah, in that
at
case,
what
it's very
price
easy. First,
elasticity would be one?
yeah, in that case, you have to find the midpoint. If you find the midpoint where the price elasticity is 1, that is the point where the total revenue is highest.
So to
But-
approach that, do you keep decreasing price by 10% and keep counting the elasticity till it gets to one? But how
in this
do you
case, I think
come up
different.
with a
Yeah,
formula for that?
in this case, different price points would be given. If she gives a caselet like this, different price points would be given, and the slope would be given. And for example, if we have 3 price points, we can easily calculate the price point at which the the elasticity is 1, right?
Okay.
And we can multiply the price with the quantity, which will be the total revenue,
Okay, good.
right? Okay. So going ahead with the cost curves. Okay, so does anyone have the graphs with them? Which where we have the total cost curve, the total variable cost curve, the marginal cost curve, and all. So now let's go to MACD case study. Here let's try to study the different cost curves. I'm going a little fast because I think we are already running out of time and we have to cover the pricing decisions also, right? So what are different cost curves? There is a marginal cost curve, there is an average cost curve, there is average variable cost curve, there is a average fixed cost curve, and there is a total cost curve, right? So when we did the MACD case study, that's a short run case study. Why is it a short run case study? It is because we assume that the fixed cost is constant and the fixed cost cannot be changed. When it's long run, then we can also change the fixed cost, right? And again, I'm going a little fast with the concepts, but if you guys are stuck anywhere, please feel free to stop me and ask me questions. Okay. All right. So fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost is something which remains fixed in the short term, in the short run, and variable cost, it varies with the output. Okay, so this is the MACD study. Uh, just hold on for a sec. Let me charge my iPad. Okay, coming back to this particular data, so we can see that when the output is increasing, so basically when there are more burgers which are produced, the fixed cost remains the same because fixed cost does not change with no matter how much is the output, but the variable cost increases. Right, the variable cost keeps on increasing from 0 to 385. And the total cost is nothing, fixed cost plus variable cost. Here it's 50 and it goes on increasing to 435. And what is marginal cost? This is something which is very important and which might get confusing in the when the data is given. Marginal cost is nothing. Output, the total cost at output 2 minus total cost at output 1, or total cost at output 4 minus total cost at output 3. So at output 1, the marginal cost is 50 because it's 100 minus 50. Then it's 128 minus 100, that is 28. Then it's 148 minus 28, that is 20. So if you look at this, the marginal cost decreases till 14. Then it goes on increasing till 85. Right. So I'll explain this through a graph now. So this is the marginal cost curve. And let's assume that this is the average cost curve or average total cost curve, and this is the average variable cost curve, right? Okay, so does anyone know why the marginal cost curve dips in the initial, then it is lowest at this particular point, and then it increases?
तो IRS, DRS और बीच में constant होता है.
So basically, I'll tell you. So, okay.
Rahul, what is your question? Can you go ahead?
So yeah. So my point is that does anyone know why the market marginal cost decreases? Then it's lowest at this particular point, and then it increases again.
Marginal cost decreases start in the start because the company is reaching its operational efficiency maximum at that
Right.
point, and at the lowest point the operational efficiency is maximum. After that, when there is more input, the operational efficiency decreases as the resources are not getting used properly and there's some wastage, and that is why it increases after a point. That's why it's a U-shaped curve.
Correct. correct? Because the resources are best utilized now. Because for example, we already have a machinery, and we are, for example, we are trying to increase the output, and to increase the output, we are purchasing more raw materials. And when we are buying raw materials, we can probably negotiate for a discount from the supplier. So the raw material per cost is getting reduced. So there are factors like this which actually reduces the marginal cost to a point where the firm is actually working at the best efficiency. Then it goes on increasing, because at every additional unit of output that is produced, the firm is probably actually pushing the threshold of efficiency, right? And it keeps on increasing. So average cost curve. So important, I would say, observation in this particular graph is that if you look at this particular point, this is the point where marginal cost curve is equal to average cost curve. And what happens after this? After this particular point, average cost curve actually increases, right? So marginal cost curve, average cost curve decreases when marginal cost curve is below average cost curve. Average cost curve increases when marginal cost curve is above average cost curve.
Rahul, can you come again, please? Average cost curve decreases when marginal cost curve increases.
Average cost curve keeps on decreasing. You look, it keeps on decreasing, right? It keeps on decreasing as long as marginal cost curve is below average cost curve. It means that when marginal cost is below average cost keeps on decreasing.
Right.
Rahul, this is the same relationship as marginal product and average product, right?
Actually, I can actually map a marginal product here and actually show why this happens. If you guys want me to do, I can actually map that.
वो same ही होएगा ना relationship.
सेम ही होएगा. यहाँ पे जैसे cost कम हो रहा है, वहाँ पे productivity बढ़ रहा है. मतलब उसमें बस that's the difference. Like here the marginal cost is going down, there the productivity is going up. तो वहाँ पे ऐसे एक curve है, right?
Yeah.
It goes up, and it is constant here. Its highest possible productivity, then it goes down. Right? Same idea.
तो उससे होता है ना कि अगर एवरेज प्रोडक्ट से ज्यादा है मेरा मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट देन माय एवरेज प्रोडक्ट विल इंक्रीज and if it's less than average product then average product will decrease, and that's the same relationship with marginal cost and average cost as well, right?
The relationship that you can find in the total product, that can actually be mapped to marginal cost and average cost, because kind of this explains why marginal cost and average cost is related in this particular manner.
Okay.
Okay.
So Rahul said, if we extend the cost curves and to look like the product curve.
Extend the cost curves and look at the product curve. I think. So basically, this is the product curve. So product curve doesn't. Okay. Product curve happens when there is a fixed cost, fixed capital, and the labor keeps on changing. So we add more labor to it, right? And we see how the output is influenced. So we see that the output increases at a faster rate in the initial. Okay, I'll give an example of this. Okay, let's take example of case competitions. I am a marketing guy, and I know just nothing but marketing. So if I call a finance guy to it, if I call a person from HR to it, the efficiency of the case competition increases, correct? It increases at a higher rate because we are able to look at the problem in different perspectives, right? And it reaches a point here where we have been increasing the efficiency at a higher rate. After which I keep on adding finance people, I keep on adding marketing people. The efficiency still increases because people come from different backgrounds, but it does not increase at that particular rate, but it still increases. And it comes till this point where I have so many finance guys, so many marketing guys, so many HR guys, so many guys from different domains, and they're actually conflicting. And we are doing, it's like too many cooks spoil the broth. So the total product actually goes down. I don't know if this would help you better, but this is something which came to my mind in which I can explain this total product.
No, Garima ma'am also used something similar, like with bakeries, if we keep on adding bakers there.
Correct. Okay. After that, we can go to returns of scale. So there are basically three returns of scale. There is IRS, increasing returns of scale, constant returns of scale, and decreasing returns of scale. So this returns of scale will always be in a longer term. It will not be in a short term. It will be in a longer term. So if I plot the long run average cost curve and the long run marginal cost curve, till this particular point, this is IRS, increasing returns to scale. That is the reason the marginal product has decreased and the average product is marginal cost is decreasing and the average cost is decreasing. At this particular point, we have CRS, which is constant returns to scale, where the average cost curve is constant. Then after this, it is DRS, which is diminishing, reducing returns to scale, where the more output make, the cost average. Okay. So this is basically a long-term perspective of the same thing that we explained in the burger scenario. That initially there would be increasing returns to scale, more more quantity to produce more quantity. We would be having lesser. We would be needing lesser cost. Then it becomes constant at the minimum level, and you add more quantity to it. The cost curve goes up, which means we would be incurring more cost to produce that extra units of output.
Why are
Yeah.
they incurring more cost exactly?
Okay, same thing that I explained here. I think somebody also mentioned because of that efficiency. This is the point where the efficiency is the highest, right? After that, it can happen that the market gets saturated. Probably there are not much.
Rahul, can you
uh-huh.
pick a different color pen and then just say which point are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the point where it's constant returns to scale. Correct? It means that at this particular point, from here till here, the efficiency is high. At this point, the efficiency is maximum, and after that, the efficiency decreases. That's the reason the cost curve goes up, which means that हमारा ज़्यादा खर्चा हो रहा है to produce those many units of output. Clear?
And what does the L stand for? LAC?
Long run average cost curve. So I said that returns to scale is always in a
long run.
term perspective.
Okay.
So any doubt in this, because we'll be going to the game theory and pricing strategies. So any doubt so far you can ask me.
Can we do the McDonald's case study only?
So that is basically which I explained. So MACD case study, if you plot the graph, it would look like this. We would be having MC, which is this particular line. We'd be having average cost curve. We'd be having average variable cost curve. You want me to do that on the Excel?
Just one second. I want to know AC keeps decreasing until MC increases, is it?
AC keeps decreasing until AC meets MC.
Okay.
Okay.
Till MC is equal to AC.
AC or ABC. AC is total cost curve, variable cost curve. It doesn't matter much because the fixed cost curve is fixed cost is so less that it keeps on decreasing. It keeps on.
The exam in the graph will be given because we can't use Excel, no?
Graph, देखो, I think the graph देने की जरूरत नहीं है. मेरा ये point है कि so this is how you can understand that, right? Because graph देने की जरूरत नहीं है. Probably अच्छा if okay.
यार कौन से पॉइंट पे क्या मैक्सिमाइज होगा वो बता दे बस.
Yeah, even I want to understand this.
Correct. So if you look at this, okay, if we keep the graph aside, if you look at this, you can see that इस पॉइंट पे मार्जिन कॉस्ट सबसे कम है, ठीक है, इस पॉइंट पे
किस पॉइंट पे पॉइंट बताइए?
14 और 18 के बीच में,
14 और 18 के बीच में।
18 के बीच में यहाँ पे मार्जिन कॉस्ट सबसे कम है, राइट। और अभी हम लोग देखते हैं कि कहाँ पे मार्जिन कॉस्ट और एवरेज कॉस्ट मीट कर रहा है. इट वुड बी समवेयर हियर 29 or 31.
Actually, whatever you're marking, it's not visible right now to us. So we do not know where your pointer is.
Okay, you can see at quantity output 8, it's 29, and average total cost is 31.
Yeah,
Is it
Correct.
right? So obviously the data will not be very accurate that you can find the total cost curve and marginal cost curve to be equal. But you can see that at this particular point it is similar, right? So we can say that after this particular point we can see that the average total cost keeps on increasing. Right, 31 goes to 32, then it goes to 35, then it goes to 39. Exactly what I was explaining through the graph.
so here we are concluding कि 8th output पे after that the output the average cost will increase.
Correct. तो अगर ऐसे कुछ data देता है and if the question comes that at what output level it would increase, what output level it would decrease, then you can look at this and you can give an answer.
And like इसका meaning क्या हुआ?
इसका meaning ये हुआ कि okay, basically this would really help us to find the point in which we would maximize revenue. राइट, इसका मीनिंग ये हुआ कि इस यूनिट पे सबसे कम कॉस्ट है, इसके बाद में हम लोग जो यूनिट्स प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं उसमें ज्यादा कॉस्ट लगता है, सो सबसे कॉस्ट कम इस लेवल इस यूनिट पे होगा, यूनिट 8 पे.
Understood.
राइट, मतलब पर यूनिट कॉस्ट सबसे कम यहाँ पे हुआ. ओके, लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल. प्राइस कांस्टेंट है, राइट. अगर प्राइस कांस्टेंट है तो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट कि कौन से आउटपुट पे हम लोग स्टॉप करना चाहिए, कौन से आउटपुट पे हम लोग प्रोड्यूस करना चाहिए, एंड व्हाट आउटपुट शुड बी सेल, राइट. बिकॉज we will probably want to sell at the point where the total cost is the least, right, or the average total cost is the least. Clear on this? I know it's a gray area because there are so many things to it. अगर मैं इसमें marginal revenue add करूँगा, it gives a different meaning, right? But basic idea is this.
Without marginal revenue, we cannot comment on any sort of revenue maximization, right?
Exactly. इसलिए मैं अभी I'm gonna say that I'm gonna show that कि marginal revenue कैसे.
So in the sheet you were sharing, only thing which mattered was कि MC और ATC जब आसपास हो उसके बाद ATC बढ़ेगा. Is there anything else to it?
There's nothing else to it. This is the only thing.
Okay.
Right. And if you want to know at what point the revenue maximizes, then for example ये सोचो कि ये average ये marginal revenue curve है, example, right? So this is the point where we should actually produce. यहाँ पे profit सबसे ज्यादा होगा. I'm not talking about total revenue. यहाँ पे profit सबसे ज्यादा होगा. ये similar.
I wanted to ask, if the question comes, at what point will the total revenue be the highest? So what would we do?
Total revenue, okay, that's the thing, right? Total revenue can never be determined through the cost curves. Cost curves में we can only determine the lowest cost. Revenue के लिए तो price जानना चाहिए ना?
अच्छा, हाँ, figured, got it. My bad.
Got it. So that's why if such a question comes, okay, I'll tell you. So there are so many concepts. It is interlinked to each other, right? Now we can interlink the total product cost curves and the marginal revenue curve that comes somewhere from this demand curve, right? So if we want to increase the profit, then marginal revenue, the basic idea is that MR should be equal to MC. I think everyone is aware of this particular rule, right? Can I have a show of hands?
MR is equal to MC, and that is for optimum cost.
Oh, that is for the point in which we should actually sell.
That is what
Because at that particular point, we would be increasing, or we would be having maximum profits.
Yeah, that's profit maximization point, right? MR equals
That
MC.
MR is equal to MC, correct?
And Rahul, case study
Mhm.
mein there are questions like McDonald's introducing self-order kiosk and like location questions also. Did ma'am discuss that? Should we know that as well?
That's the thing, right? Now this, अगर ये same questions तो नहीं आने वाला ना. I think the questions will be definitely tweaked, correct?
Yeah.
So my point is that if any such questions come, can we use economics to understand that or probably answer that?
अब जैसे उसमें एक क्वेश्चन था कि ओपनिंग अ न्यू लोकेशन और एक्सपैंडिंग प्रोडक्शन एट एन एग्जिस्टिंग लोकेशन हाउ डू वी मेक आउट दैट क्वेश्चन
Okay, the question was that either we should expand at a
either like
different-
McDonald's need to decide between opening a
very
new location versus expanding production at an existing location.
perfect. That we can use this curve to answer that. First, we have to check that if we are what point of output we are doing in that existing cost. If we are at output, for example, this particular output, we are not utilizing the resources properly, right? And if we are already at this particular point where we have maximized our profit through this, then yeah, it makes sense to open a new outlet and focus our efforts there. But if we are not utilizing the existing outlet, and we have not maximized our profit there, there is no point to move to other outlet.
Rahul, can we do these without Excel?
Yeah, this answer is very very logical. We can
No,
just
not
use
the answer.
economics. We
I'm
can
talking
use
about the curves. Can we draw them without?
this is the basic curves which will be same no matter what the data is, right? Without data, if you want to explain it, you can just draw these curves and give an explanation to it.
Okay.
Right. For example, the same explanation that I gave to Arushi, I can give it just through 2 or 3 sentences, or probably I will draw this graph and I'll show the point that if we are at this point, it makes sense to focus on the outlet and increase the output so that we touch the profit maximization stage. Otherwise, if you're already at the maximum stage, then okay, let's explore some other outlet. Clear?
Got it. And then there was a question, how does combo meals help McDonald's control cost curves? How do we explain that?
Combo meals, how does combo meals
Why do combo meals help McDonald's control cost curves?
yeah, okay, got it. Yeah. Combo meals, I'll tell you. Because when there's a combo meal, we are actually saving on the cost. Right? I'll tell you how. So for example, there is same hours of labor or same hours of raw materials, same number of raw materials which are there. If we have created a combo which serves fries, which serves Coke, and at the same time which serves the burger, right? So for example, 10 मिनट में एक बर्गर रेडी हो रहा है, वो 2 मिनट और देके फ्राइज भी रेडी कर सकते हैं, कोक भी बना सकता है, right? So we are actually playing at this particular point in that we are reducing the marginal cost curve. I don't know, it's really क्या बोलता है, थोड़ा confusing है, but I hope that I'm able to reach there. So basically क्या कर रहा है, if you're bundling it, there are 2 things. First, you're increasing the ticket size, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And second thing, you're actually reducing the cost. Because सोचो कि एक बंदा अगर 1 मिनट में एक बर्गर बना रहा है, he can barely take a couple of seconds more and fill a fry and actually make some fries and fill a Coke, right? उसमें क्या हो रहा है, एक additional unit of output पे ज़्यादा cost incur हो नहीं रहा है. So it's actually we are utilizing these curves to make the decision.
तो अपना marginal cost कम कर रही हो.
Marginal cost कम होएगा.
हाँ, मतलब वही कम हो रहा है उससे इस प्रोसेस
क्योंकि इसी से हो रहा है. किससे हो रहा है? इसी से टोटल प्रोडक्ट से हो रहा है. बिकॉज जैसे लेबर हम लोग ऐड कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, हम लेबर से ज्यादा काम करा रहे हैं. मतलब एक लेबर का अगर 1 घंटा है तो 1 घंटे में हम लोग फ्राइज भी करा रहा है, कोक भी करा रहा है और बर्गर भी कर रहा है. सो द टोटल प्रोडक्ट और द टोटल टिकट साइज दैट इंक्रीजेस एट अ लार्जर रेट, करेक्ट, जिसकी वजह से द मार्जिनल कॉस्ट गोज डाउन.
ठीक है.
So all these questions you can use economics. I'm not sure if we can if what will happen if we answer just logic to it. But yeah, we can use economics no matter what the questions are. Correct. Any other doubts on this? Great question, by the way.
यार ऑटोमेशन वाला भी था, उसमें था व्हाई डज मैकडॉनल्ड्स इंट्रोड्यूस सेल्फ ऑर्डर कियोस्क, हाउ डज ऑटोमेशन इफेक्ट कॉस्ट कर्व? उससे हमारा लेबर कम हो रहा है ना?
उसमें लेबर कम हो रहा है. नाउ वी हैव टू लुक एट द लेबर कॉस्ट. अगेन ये वाला चीज. ठीक है, अगर हम लोग ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे इस पॉइंट पे है, जब हम लोग पूरा यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं लेबर को.
See the annotations. Can you maybe use a different color with blue?
Yeah, I'll try doing that. I'm very bad with technology, but yeah, I'll try that from the next slide, right? But you definitely asked me which point you are facing the confusion. I can probably redraw those graphs, correct?
Yeah, the labor cost. Like as you were saying,
Yeah,
we
sure,
can answer and defend it by logic, but at least for me, not so much with graphs. So I don't know if that's gonna take away from my score.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure of that. I just believe that, like, since we are solving economics paper, let's add at least 1%, 10% of economics to it.
Yeah.
Right. But again, going back to the question, if we can actually use automation, I think we can use probably this graph to answer that. If we are already at this particular point, which I have marked in red, where the efficiency of labor is maximum. If we increase more labor, it would actually lead a decrease in the output because we don't have the capital, the K, to support that labor. In that case, we should definitely go for, the kiosk, because that would open a new avenue in which we can cater to a new customers. Otherwise, it's probably better to actually add labor and already reach this point and then probably exploring kiosk, self kiosk.
So here, I didn't understand exactly. If we are at the red, like the peak point, and if if I'm decreasing labor is getting decreased, right, because of the automation. So where am I moving? Am I moving to the right side or the left side?
Right. So if we are already setting up kiosk, how can the labor get reduced? It can happen. It can happen the labor get reduced. But if we are already at this particular point, it can happen that there are more customers who are willing to, actually use the self kiosk, and there are some set of customers which are there to actually who prefer the, service, service by the laborers, by the, attendees there. Correct.
Okay, but then how is it affecting my curve if I'm setting up a kiosk?
It will not affect your curve. For example, I'll tell you. So, okay, there's a different perspective to it. If the cost of, setting up the kiosk is lower than the labor cost, right, then the marginal cost goes down.
Okay.
Right. So, but if the cost is, I think if the cost is more, then we probably will not go for that because there is no point in, investing more in the kiosk. I can just figure this out. Otherwise, it's always better to use logic to it. Right.
All right.
Do you recall what ma'am had actually said on this? Because this is the only way in which we can apply economics to solve this particular question.
I don't remember actually what ma'am said about
Okay,
this.
Sure. So yeah, right. Any doubts? Any other doubts so far? So we have.
Will we be doing the maple tree case study as well?
So maple tree case study, we can do, but then I think that there is not much economics to it. Just data heavy, right?
Maybe can we at least understand what will be the how will we differentiate between the fixed costs and variable costs?
Right. We can do that. So let's see. It's already 1.5 hours. So I would want to wrap up the pricing decisions, the Nash equilibrium thing, and after that we can connect after some time probably for this. Right?
Sure.
Makes sense. So
Yeah.
I hope that there is no doubt so far. Right. So far we are just clear about how the demand curves are, what is elasticity of a demand curve. After that we went to the cost, to a different type of cost curves. We found out at what point the marginal cost would be less. What does that mean? The intersection of the marginal cost and the average cost, what that means. After that, the average cost goes up, and the point at which marginal cost is equal to average cost. Average cost is the minimum, right? So far we learned about that. Now let's go to pricing. Yes, Simran.
Rahul, I just want to ask, since we've studied so much already, can we just take a 5-minute breather and then come back to it
Oh,
if
sure.
everyone's okay?
Actually, even I want it.
हाँ जी ठीक है. So then you'll also be able to explain better. आपको भी थोड़ा 5 मिनट का break
Right,
मिल
right.
जाएगा. 5 or 10, whatever works for you.
Yeah, 5 minutes break would be fine.
So we'll all join back by 32,
Sure.
35.
Sure, let's 35. That will be good.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Also, Rahul, can you share these notes with us, like whatever you are writing?
Yeah, I can do that. In fact, I am planning to actually go through all the PPTs and create a cheat sheet if that works.
That.
So I'll try to do that. It will not be having any graphs because it doesn't make any sense to have a graph. But then I'll definitely include all the formulas and probably share that with you guys if that makes sense to you, right?
Yes, please. That we're talking about the cheat sheet, na handwritten 2-page, मतलब front and
नहीं
back.
होना चाहिए क्या? Handwritten नहीं होना चाहिए ऐसे कुछ है क्या?
हाँ, handwritten
नहीं होनी चाहिए, yeah.
If you give us, we'll write it down.
हाँ.
अच्छा, also Rahul, can you share your assignments एक बारी? I want to know कि questions का how have you answered it? And grading सिर्फ एक ही assignment के लिए ना अभी तक.
जैसे ये assignment है. I don't recall where I have the other assignments. So this is game theory analysis versus. Oh, just I'm so sorry.
Okay, but अभी तक grading सिर्फ एक ही assignment के हुई है ना हम सबकी. The first one.
एक मिनट मेरा screen share हो रहा है क्या?
नहीं, no, I can only see the
Okay.
handwritten notes.
Is my screen visible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the game theory wala assignment. So this is how I did. Like basic.
I can't still see.
Right, we are able to see only the short run analysis.
एक मिनट. Let me check again.
Like I'm good with the game theory wala assignment, but the previous ones जैसे ये McDonald's वाला या then.
अच्छा assignment in the sense कि McD का assignment था क्या? Assignment in the sense that what we did.
Yeah, the questions ma'am asked and we gave the answers for it, right? The
What
grading.
is this? What are you opening?
This is the game theory one.
Oh, this is your assignment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rahul, this is your assignment.
Can you share
Oh,
the
wow.
game run with us?
You want this assignment?
Can you actually share
Yes,
all
yes.
these? These are very well. These look very well explained.
Okay, sure. I'll share this, but I don't think there's much to it. It's very basic.
Rahul,
But I'll share it. Yeah.
sorry, I'm very confused right now. You made this for the submission.
Yeah. Everyone does, I suppose.
I didn't add
I
any.
made a doc.
I just made a normal doc and some.
It was a 3-page doc. I think.
Yeah. All I did was make it pink. You did all of this? Wow.
It's just the same thing, yeah. Same. The
Yes,
figure will be the
Claude
same,
AI.
but that I present it better.
Did you use Claude AI for this?
No, I used what did
Gamma?
I use? Gamma.
Gamma.
Yeah.
But Gamma has that watermark. How did we get rid of it?
I think he has the pro version then probably.
But I've used different apps for example, this particular graph. This is not generated by. It won't be generated by Gamma. So I used some other app. I don't recall. Then I pasted it here.
Playflation. Look at the pictures written playflation.
Okay. So if anyone has like we have 4 more minutes in which we'll resume the pricing decisions. So if you guys have any doubts, you can ask me.
Rahul, for the McDonald's thing, I tried making a graph, but my graph was, I don't know why, starting from 1. So मैम के दोनों ऐसे यू शेप थे और मेरे तीनों नीचे टच हो रहे थे वन पे, तो बहुत अजीब सा बन रहा था कुछ.
So if I assume, एक minute.
Can I actually share my screen if no one has a
Yeah,
problem?
sure.
One sec. कहाँ पे है? One second. Okay, I'm not able to. I'll then probably send you a picture and I'll connect with you after this call because it's asking for some permissions and I'll probably have to close
No
the.
issues. No issues, sir.
Okay. Rahul, are you here?
Yes, Nandini, sir.
Rahul, could you, I mean, I don't know if we covered, but could you give me like a idea of IC, the indifference curve?
Are you sure indifference curve is part of the syllabus?
This I just read in one of the slides, like it was just mentioned. Because I do have it in my notes.
So indifference curve is something which is related to marginal utility, right?
This is under consumer behavior है ना, उसमें है.
हाँ तो exactly. So if you have that note which is there, can you please share the screen? I'll probably try to explain.
Yeah, I have handwritten, so.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
अच्छा. So basically, I did not come across this. So I'll explain this. But so I just want to know कि मैंने देखा नहीं कि somebody else have also seen.
अच्छा.
So okay. Okay. So I'll just take 1 minute to explain this. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. So you must be having an idea, right? So should I explain from the start, or probably you have a doubt, then you can ask me directly what that doubt is.
हाँ मतलब I understood the. One second, I'll just tell you. So under utility maximize, हाँ तो this was under consumer behavior. उसमें we did the optimal choice where you have मतलब for your utility maximization. उसमें था कि indifference में it shows all combination of goods, right, and giving the same total satisfaction.
Right, this one. This is the indifference curve, right?
Correct.
So these are. Yeah, go ahead.
नहीं ये मुझे थोड़ा सा बता दो please.
ओके मैं सही बता रहा हूँ ये मैंने मैम की कोई स्लाइड भी नहीं देखी ये मुझे पता है बोल के मैं समझा रहा हूँ बट आई एम रियली स्कैर्ड कि अगर ये आ रहा है तो
अरे यार मैंने क्यों देखा है फिर मतलब डू यू रिमेम्बर क्लास में नेटफ्लिक्स वर्सेस डिनर वाला एग्जांपल हुआ था
like can others please tell me if this is there because I didn't come across this.
Can you come again, please? I wasn't really listening.
So, are you like, have you seen this curve before?
These curves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will get a mini. Okay, you've seen, right? Okay.
Are you guys have heard indifference curve in any of the classes?
I haven't heard. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's why I'm also asking anyone if they've heard.
No.
I also don't know because whenever this
Okay,
happens.
let me
यार
explain
मेरे
this.
notes में कैसे है? Because not like I go home and study. वो तो कभी नहीं हुआ आज से पहले. But ठीक
Okay,
है.
I'll explain this.
Bro,
Okay,
पता नहीं.
quickly I'll explain this. So basically, every curve has a different level of satisfaction.
हाँ.
Okay, and these points are the different combinations of quantity of A and quantity of B,
हाँ.
right? And this would give one level of satisfaction. सोचो कि satisfaction दे रहा है 20 यूनिट का.
हाँ.
ये जैसे ऊपर जाएगा satisfaction बढ़ते जाएगा. This gives satisfaction of 20 units. This gives satisfaction of 40 units. This gives satisfaction of 60 units, right? And यहाँ पे क्या होगा? यहाँ पे different combinations of quantity A and quantity B. Okay?
Correct. Yes.
और क्या डाउट है इसके
इसमें हमारा प्राइस है ही नहीं.
इसमें प्राइस नहीं है ना. That's why I'm telling you. It's a different.
Utility.
So हाँ तो इसमें utility है. So this would be having, this is utility 20, 40, 60 which I mentioned. These are utility.
तो हमने marginal rate of substitution नहीं करा है क्लास में.
Marginal rate of substitution, I don't think so, because that would be even theory heavy.
Nandini, where
Where are you finding these things, bro?
are you doing
That is-
that somewhere else outside of Masters Union?
Are you mad? I'm not even doing in Masters Union.
And where is this coming from?
Yeah, see, this happens when you have not attended classes and then you just rely on notes of other people and whatever they've written, you freak out. So I was just like, fuck, I don't know this. But ठीक है, you just remove this for lack of confusion. It's fine. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, sure. So let's get started with the game theory pricing decisions. Game theory or pricing strategy.
Is everyone back from the break?
I can see there are just I think 10, 15, 20 people have left. So just let's wait for like 2 more minutes.
So probably you can put in the group, right? That they can join
Yeah.
back. Yeah. I think जो गेम थ्योरी पे लास्ट सेशन हुआ था, तो मैम ने बहुत स्टेप बाय स्टेप करवाया था ना कि हाउ वी आर गोना गो विद इट. Was it game theory or the other last part of it? जिसमें डिफरेंशिएशन आई थी लास्ट सेशन में. राहुल, you're on mute. Am I audible?
Yes, you were, Archita.
Okay, okay.
Rahul is just joining. Excellent.
अच्छा ठीक है.
Yeah, Arshita, can you come again? Like I misheard your question.
आफ्टर दिस गेम थ्योरी जो लास्ट सेशन में हमने डिफरेंशिएशन वाला क्वेश्चन करवाया था ना, राइट? तो वो तो फॉर श्योर आ ही रहा है. वो कौन से टॉपिक के अंडर आता है?
Differentiation. Differentiation वाला questions last topic अंदर आता है.
हाँ वही मैं पूछ रही हूँ. द टॉपिक वाज
Just a minute. I think just a minute. I think differentiation वाला इसमें आता है. हम लोग जब competition markets के बारे में जब कर रहे हैं तब.
ओके. तो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन, किस तरह का क्वेश्चन आएगा एग्जाम में जिसमें
Because I'll tell you, differentiation would be really tough. If she gives differentiation, then that would be like actually really tough.
या
Right, no matter what it is. So I'll just confirm with ma'am.
आई डू, क्योंकि जो डिफरेंशिएशन
Yeah.
मैम ने क्लास में कराया था वाज फेयरली इजी. उसमें ज्यादा कुछ था नहीं. तो अगर उसी सिंपल लेवल का आ रहा है देन तो आई गेस आ सकता है, बिकॉज मैम ने उसको बहुत अच्छे से स्टेप वाइज कराया था. आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग अ क्वेश्चन.
Okay.
Entirely.
I'll just confirm with that because I think that would be on the competition part, which would probably need I think another session of 30 minutes. So I'll do one thing. I'll complete this pricing strategy, and after that, let's see if we have time for that. Right? Rohan, you have a doubt?
राहुल एक बारी just break even point and shutdown point पे थोड़ा सा बता दे.
ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट और शटडाउन पॉइंट पे, ओके ठीक है. सो अगर इस ग्राफ को लूंगा तो ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट इज इट्स अ पॉइंट इन विच जो टोटल रेवेन्यू होता है, लाइक लेट्स अस्यूम द टोटल रेवेन्यू कुछ भी हो, टोटल रेवेन्यू वुड बी इक्वल टू द टोटल कॉस्ट. ठीक है, उसमें नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस सीन है. सॉरी आई एम सो सॉरी. टोटल रेवेन्यू वुड बी इक्वल टू द टोटल वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. ओके, लेट मी मेक अनदर ग्राफ. Let's say that average variable cost. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. Let's say that this is the. Just a minute. Let's assume that this is the total cost, total variable cost. ठीक है, ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट वो होता है जब हमारा रेवेन्यू जो है वो एक्चुअली मैच करता है टोटल रेवेन्यू इज इक्वल टू टोटल वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. ओके, क्योंकि अगर इसके नीचे जा रहा है इसका मतलब है कि वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी हम रिकवर नहीं कर पा रहे. दैट इज नोन एज द शटडाउन पॉइंट, राइट. इसके ऊपर तो ऑब्वियसली वी विल कंटिन्यू प्रोडक्शन. सो ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट is the point where the total revenue is equal to total variable cost. कि जो हमारा लेबर पे, जो हमारे रॉ मटेरियल्स पे जो खर्चा आ रहा है, एटलीस्ट उसको तो हम रिकवर कर पा रहे हैं थ्रू आवर प्राइसेस, बिकॉज टोटल रेवेन्यू प्राइसेस. यार लॉन्ग रन में क्या होता है ना, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट भी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट हो जाता है. लॉन्ग रन में व्हाई व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन लॉन्ग रन एंड शॉर्ट रन इज दैट इन लॉन्ग रन देयर इज नो फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट, because we can also change the capital, क्योंकि sources, funding sources लेके आ सकता है, नया plant बना सकता है, correct. But looking at this particular juncture, let's assume that total revenue is equal to total variable cost. This is the break-even point. Any point below that is the shutdown point. Just a minute, I'm getting a call. Just a minute. Sure. Hello. यार मैं सोच 15, हाँ बोल. ये पृथ्वीराज का भी ठीक है, वो 3:15 को कर दे, मैं जल्दी रैप अप करता हूँ. ठीक है मैं जल्दी में करता हूँ. ठीक है, ओके ठीक है. Okay. So let's go ahead with this and complete the. So Rohan, this doubt is clear for the break-even point and the shutdown point, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's go to the pricing strategies. Pricing strategies. Okay. So there are basically two types of strategy. First is the pure strategy, and next is the mixed strategy. Okay. Quickly, by raise of thumbs, can you tell me, what is a pure strategy and what's a mixed strategy? Or you can tell me no. Okay. Yes, Simran, tell me what's a pure strategy, what's a mixed strategy?
I think, again, I might be completely wrong, but pure strategy is where one is not related to the other, one is not affecting the other outcome, but mixed is when they are affecting each other's outcome.
Correct. So one example of pure strategy is what? I think ad spends, right? So for example, there are two players. There's a player A, there's a player B, and they can either do an ad spend, no ad spend, do an ad spend, no ad spend. So let's look at the possibilities like this. And say for okay. So if you are B, will you go for spending on the ad, or will you go for not spending on the ad?
Spending on the ad.
Spending on the ad, because no matter what it is, no matter what A's decision would be, we'll always be having a good payoff if we spend on the ad, because there's a payoff of 10 years, there's a payoff of 12 years. And if we don't spend on the ad, we would be at 2 and 1, right? Because we use the pricing strategy or the game theory to maximize our payoff. This is the sole objective of the entire game theory. We want to maximize our payoff. And in pure strategy, we don't care about what the opponent is doing, because their opponent's decision will not affect us. So we can go with one course of action. So that is pure strategy. Clear, everyone? Just give me a thumbs up. Sure. Mixed strategy. In this particular case, we'll see all the different equilibriums, the Nash equilibrium, and let's go to, we have the Nash equilibrium, we have the prisoner's dilemma, we have the matching pennies, all those things, right? Okay. So let's understand Nash equilibrium through the example. So I'll probably share my screen here.
A की dominant strategy क्या होगी इसमें? मेरे वाले example में.
Sorry? Get you.
In the example that you showed, what would be the dominant strategy for A?
Obviously, go for ad. That is the strategy. That's the dominant strategy for A.
That was
Go
for
for
B.
ad. For B and A, both for them, it's go for ad.
Rahul, you're sharing some other screen.
Right, I was about to go to this. Okay, I'll share the screen again. Okay. Okay. So if you look here, even if you're A, right, you'll be at 8, you'll be at 10 if you do the ad, you'll be at 4, and you'll be at 1 if you don't do the ad. So no matter what we does, we'll always be at a better off position, would be at a higher payoff if we go for the ad. So be it A, be it B, we would always go for one particular course of action. That is known as pure strategy. We don't care about the other person. Clear?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. Great. So is my screen visible for that game theory analysis, PS3 and Xbox?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So this is where Nash equilibrium actually comes into play. So if you look at the payoff, so basically what happened, how this, the basic idea behind this Nash equilibrium is that we'll assume that Sony and Microsoft both are at $399, right? And we calculate the payoff. So this is the payoff of Sony versus Microsoft. Sony's payoff is 1032.5 and Microsoft payoff is 960. Right. Looking at this particular payoff matrix, what do you think is the Nash equilibrium? I'll explain what is Nash equilibrium. Nash equilibrium is the position where both of the players will reach to by evaluating the other's course of action. I'll come again. Nash equilibrium is equilibrium position where both the players would reach to by evaluating the other's course of action. So looking at these four quadrants, what would be the Nash equilibrium here?
978.75 and 920.
Why not 1032.5 and 960?
Because that's, that's a trust factor, right? The other person, the other company can be trusted. So Sony might.
Correct. Right. So this would be the best position in which both of them would be better off. But then it can happen that Microsoft can slash its prices to $299. So that would be followed by Sony slashing its prices against to $299. But so the Nash equilibrium here would be 978.75 and 920. Right? Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So now how we come to this particular figure that's actually there in the case study, that's very simple. Just make sure that the overhead, we are not reducing the overhead because the overhead is constant. Rest, make sure that you have the sales, you have the price, make sure that you reduce the variable cost from it, right? So again, it depends on what kind of caselet ma'am will give. But yeah, that is something which I don't think can be shown through this. Right. So after, so let's go to prisoner's dilemma here. Okay. Okay. So prisoner's dilemma is when, for example, should I actually explain this, or you guys are aware of it? So I'll just quickly brush through prisoner's dilemma. How many of you want me to explain this? Just
Can you like quickly explain how to calculate?
I'll brush through it.
Come
Okay.
to the
Right. Correct. Okay. So basic idea between prisoner's dilemma is that there are, for example, two prisoners, right? Both have been caught for a crime. There's a prisoner A and there's a prisoner B, and he has two options. He can either confess, he can deny confession. We also have two options. He can either confess or he can deny confession, right? Now, what if both of them confess, which means both of them say that, okay, I have done the crime. Both will serve a penalty of 5 years. If both of them do not confess, both of them will serve a penalty of just 2 years, right? Because obviously they would be getting the benefit of doubt. And if one confess and another do not confess, the person who confess would get -1. Sorry. The person who confess would get -1. The person who do not confess would get -10. And here again, person who confess would get -10. Person who do not confess would get 1. So here, can you tell me where is the Nash equilibrium? Where will the Nash equilibrium lie?
-5.
Actually, yes, -5. They would be better off at -2. But what's the problem? The problem is that if I don't confess,
in this case, the second quadrant, the right side, shouldn't it be -10, -1? Because
yes.
it's like A, B, right? And A is not confessing, so and B is confessing.
मैं B, A कर रहा हूँ. B का -1 है यार, ठीक है यार, वो थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हो गया, but yeah, okay, the first value is B for me, right?
Okay,
yeah. Okay, so
is there a rule of thumb that we need to have it like X and Y? How do we decide? Is it vertical first and then the horizontal, or vice versa?
There is no
Or can
rule of
be
thumb.
either.
This is something which I found in the in the caselets on all. So I am using so the one where the y-axis is there, which is B. I'm using it first. Then I'm using the x-axis, which is A. Right, vertical and horizontal. Right, and if you have to mention that, if you think that it would be confusing, you can give a note to it. Make sense?
Yeah. But you said you're going vertical and horizontal, but you're saying B and then A, right?
Yeah, B and then
You're
A.
taking
Right.
B first. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking
So that's
B first.
horizontal and vertical, no? Not vertical, horizontal.
Horizontal or vertical? You're confusing me with order, but I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah. No, no. The
vertical.
first is for B, like -5
Yeah,
is
so
for B, and
B is
second is A.
B is vertical,
It's
right?
X, Y,
Writing by X, by X.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So coming back to they would be best. The best pair would be at -2, But the problem is that if B do not confess and A confesses, right? So it would lead to the person who do not confess actually losing off on the losing off on a higher number of terms there. So the best combination here would be both of them confess and both of them serve imprisonment of 5 years, 5 years each. Okay. After that, I'll quickly move to matching pennies. Okay, so here the Nash equilibrium is at -5, right? In matching pennies, it's very simple. Like there are two players, and A would get a penny from B if both of them show the same side of the coin. Both of them are either showing H or T, and B would get a penny from A if the sides of the coin are different, right? So in this particular matrix, in that case, if A, he has two options, head and tail. He has two options, head and tail. If head is same, he gains, he loses. Right. So this here, can you tell me if there is any Nash equilibrium here?
No, there will be no Nash here.
Why?
This is a zero-sum game.
Very good. This is zero sum game. Right. This is a zero sum game. That's why there is no Nash equilibrium here. Right. So I think we are done with the matching pennies also.
So what is the best solution in matching pennies?
There's no best solution because I'll tell you. So for example, we both are playing the game, right? If I show and we have to show the one side of the coin simultaneously. So I show head, and it's like playing stone, paper, and scissors, right? But there's no best solution to it.
Okay.
The whole point is that we might come across different situations in the real world business problem that there is no both gainers. One will lose, one's loss is another's profit. That's what happened in the share market, right?
Correct.
Right. It's a zero sum game. Or probably futures. It's a zero sum game. Nobody gains that much. Or betting. It's a zero sum game. Right. So it's basically try to explain that.
Okay.
Correct?
Thank you.
This is also a part of mixed strategy only, right? This is not pure strategy.
This is also part of mixed strategy because we definitely our actions or probably our outcomes depend on the other person's. Right?
Got it.
Yeah, the mixed strategy, this is the only mixed strategy. If I want to name this, you call it dominant strategy. This particular pure strategy, this is dominant strategy. Okay, so we have covered pure strategy, mixed strategy. Dominant strategy is a type of pure strategy. Mixed strategy, we have Nash equilibrium. So Nash equilibrium is a equilibrium. It will come under prisoner's dilemma. It will come under this pennies. Right, matching pennies, right? It will also, Nash equilibrium will also come under this particular case when people will move at different parts of the beach and then they will come to a point where both of them are occupying the central position so that they can cover the other end of the beach. Does this ring a bell? Okay,
Yeah.
so basically, even at this point, this is the Nash equilibrium. So Nash equilibrium is a phenomena, and these are the different types of mixed strategies like prisoner's dilemma, missing pennies, and this beach while exercise, right? And we try to find out Nash equilibrium in each of these cases. Okay. So basically, I think we have covered mostly the microeconomics part in the sense the supply and demand curves, the cost curves, where to maximize the profit, at what point is the efficiency highest, and then coming to the game theory and the different types of game theory, right? I know this is not the most efficient because due to time crunch, it's very hard to actually cover all the chapters and sessions in one go, right? But you have any doubts so far, you can tell me. The chapters or sessions which we have missed, I'll have a connect with Ananya, and probably if he's free, then we can probably connect. And if you guys want, we can probably connect in the evening. Right. So far, you guys have any doubt, you can let me know right now.
राहुल नैश वाले के अंदर हम लोग मतलब ऑपोजिट का पार्ट नहीं देखते, राइट?
ओके, नैश वाले के अंदर देखता है, नैश इक्विलिब्रियम इसमें मिक्स स्ट्रेटजी में आएगा. हमें फर्क पड़ता है ना. ओके, हमें यहाँ पे फर्क पड़ता है ना कि दूसरा बंदा क्या कर रहा है कि नहीं.
तो इसको प्ले एक बार कैसे करेंगे, एक बार ये बताओगे?
ओके श्योर, मैं इसको इसी एग्जाम्पल से बताता हूँ.